Battlefield 6 is an absolute banger of a game, but you know what isn't? The menus. So after spending way too much time scrolling and searching through them, here is every setting that has helped me make my game more responsive, clear and overall better in every possible way. Starting with the accessibility menu. You'll head over to color profiles, and here, as you can see, all I've done is taken the friendly, squad, enemy and neutral colors and simply cranked up their intensity, that way they are more visible in a chaotic fight. Then I recommend reducing your world brightness to at least 45, that way you won't get flashbanged by the sun whenever you go from inside a building to the outside. Next, I want you to go over to camera effects, and in here you're going to reduce both world motion blur and weapon motion blur to 0, turn off the infantry HUD motion, reduce the camera shake amount to 50, turn on reduce sprint camera bobbing, turn off chromatic aberration, and lastly turn off infantry crosshair projection. Now that last one is extremely important, as it will keep your crosshair in the center of your screen at all times. And regarding the other settings I mentioned before, they might give you the battle feels and look cinematic, and I have nothing against that, but if you want the best visibility, then these are your go-to settings. Next, we move on to the gameplay menu, where you'll be changing just two settings. First, the roll camera and landing roll that you're going to turn off. This will help you be less disoriented when doing the landing roll. And the second setting is the peek type that you're going to change to side only. This way you will be able to ADS behind cover without automatically showing yourself to the enemy. Up next, we have the mouse and keyboard menu, where you will go into the infantry/passenger keybinds and then scroll until you find the slide section. By default, you can only use the slide if you double tap the crouch button, so my recommendation is to bind it to a single button. I use the button on the side of my mouse because I can always access it very quickly. The other bind you're going to want to change is the rangefinder zeroing if zoomed, and set it to the exact same keybind that you have for your steady scope. This means that as long as you have the rangefinder attachment on your gun, you'll be able to automatically rangefind your targets every time you're ready to take a shot. Onto the graphics menu. First, go into the advanced section and scroll down to performance overlay and turn on the simple one. This will help you in this section of the video, where I want you to go into the graphics quality settings. As you can see, all my settings are turned down to the lowest, apart from texture quality, texture filtering and mesh quality, which I have set to high. I'm running an RTX 3060 and I get around 100-110 FPS with these settings. This is the part where you're going to have to try different settings depending on your PC, but that little performance overlay you activated earlier is going to show you how much FPS you're getting with different settings, but be aware, for some settings to take effect, you need to jump into a match or restart your game. Next up is sharpness, which I set between 70 to 80. This is personal preference, but I feel that the extra sharpness helps me identify objects far away, and I just prefer the look of the game. Then I want you to come back into the advanced section, and here all I can recommend is to turn on the LSS in the upscaling technique. This will help by increasing your FPS and lowering your latency. Next, for your field of view, I recommend setting it between 110 to 120. For your vehicle field of view, set it to the maximum and make sure your weapon field of view is set to wide. This way your weapon will take up less space on your screen. Then turn off vignette and film grain, scroll down to the vertical sync setting and absolutely make sure it is turned off, and go to the vehicle HUD motion and turn that off as well. Next, I want you to go to the advanced HUD settings, where you're going to change the minimap size to large, then change the view distance on foot to 250 and the view distance in ground vehicles to 300. The minimap is such a crucial tool that gives you so much information and can be the difference between you winning or losing a fight, so make sure not to overlook it. Then go to HUD icons, and a big shout out to Westy, from whom I learned about these settings I'm about to show you. First, scroll down to the objective icons and set them to 100, 80, 40 and 20. Then in friendly icons and squad icons, set both to 100, 60 and 40. Then in enemy icons, it should all be set to 100, and lastly in neutral icons, it should be set to 100, 60 and 40. The last thing we're going to be changing in the graphics menu is the crosshair and indicators, where I decided to set my crosshair intensity to 100 to make sure it always stands out regardless of how bright this game is. I then changed the hit indicator intensity to 70, and same as with the color profiles in the beginning of the video, I took all the colors here and maxed out their intensity. Additionally, I did change the headshot color to an orange so I can easily tell it apart from a normal hit. The last part of the video is going to be in the audio menu, where I want you to choose your sound system. I use headphones, so this is the one I chose. And for the audio mix, I highly recommend using the high dynamics, which is by far the best choice if you want to hear footsteps. And if you're going for a more brutal vibe, I suggest using the War Tapes VAL, which is actually the audio mix I used for the first couple of days. And that is it. This wraps up all the settings in Battlefield 6 that will improve your game. Thank you for watching till the end. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I'm Neo, and I'll see you in the next one.